Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Good morning. We'll wait just a minute to let everyone come in, and we'll get the stream started. All right, so let's get the ball rolling. We have a lot of things to cover, and by that I mean psychologically, because there's not much going on in the market right now. So what positions do we play today? How do we play them? Give me just a second. We'll get right into it. All right. Now that more people are here, let's check out TOP just at the scanner. Oh, nice. Okay, so if we take a look at the daily gainers list, let's take that look at that. There isn't much going on right now. HOVR, I tried to take a trade at like 154. It went to like 156 and then I stopped out at 149. So paper cut, nothing crazy, but still 17 million volume isn't that much for a stock that has been trading sideways and, you know, a lot of action, quite a lot of action. So gonna be charting this out now. So let's see. Okay, so let's go to the 10-minute chart, see where the volume is, what do we have on the table with us. So obviously the run started at this level, right? Okay, and then we had a top out at this level. We're gonna mark these two levels out, and now it's just trading between that chop, right? So right now between this level and this level, it is chop. Now let's take a look at the daily chart. So on the daily chart, we see buyers came in here, sellers stepped in here. Now, why did buyers come in here? Not too sure. There's no crazy big demand zone. There's no nothing significant that tells me, hey, buyers should be coming in here. So let's take a look. Why did sellers come in here at 170? Well, once again, nothing crazy, right? Maybe this supply zone right here. I think that's what it is. It's the supply zone right here. So we'll mark that out. Okay, we'll mark that supply zone out as resistance. And what are some potential bounces now? Right, we're gonna look for where do we think we can bounce on the daily chart. So we have support at this level, 113 to 99 cents. Now 113, where is that on the intraday chart? 113 to 99. So 113 comes down to around this level, which I think is pretty valid, right? I think that's a pretty valid level. Now let's go to the weekly chart, see where we sit. So once again, nothing crazy about the buying pressure that has me intrigued, but more so, you guys can see that we probably have room up till 220 here. Now, why is that? Why do we have room until 220? Just looking at this chart, we see that sellers came in here. Okay, sellers came in here. We have room until this level 220 because this is where the consolidation was before the first initial drop. So market makers probably want to push it to that 220 area. But first we're going to be testing, obviously we're testing 140 right now. I would like for it to come down to our 113, 114 level. All right, do something like that. We'll make this green for support. Okay, something like this. So I want to see a pullback into this level. Probably hold that top level and then head back into 170s. And then once we can hold 170s, then we start to make that move to 220. So I think there's leftover liquidity sitting at 220, and that's probably what market makers are going to target just to get that bigger move. All right, so now on the intraday, how does that look like? So right now, buying for me, I mean, I try to take scalps here for a little pop, right? But bigger picture, if we're looking at bigger picture and not scalps, bigger picture, we need to reset, right? We need to break below these lows. We need to reset, grab liquidity below these lows, right? Set up something like this to find a nice trade. Is that clear? Right, the daily and weekly weren't like A+ on this one to find levels, but just based on drawing liquidity, right, we do have some nice potential to come back up to 220 before the massive move down again. All right, is that clear? Let me know in chat. I just seen KWE on the scanner, so watching it. Let's see. I just had some news. Just had some news on KWE. Let's see what we're cooking up here. I was just looking. Okay, so we broke above these highs right now. All right, we broke above these highs. We grabbed liquidity. Now, what do we see? If it can continue to build up into this, we could break out, right? Obviously, we grab liquidity, but buyers are still present. The candle didn't go red. Buyers could still step in here and break it through that 56 level towards 60. So let's just see what happens live here. Probably a breakthrough highs now. Let's see, 58.45, nice, 91, nice, 61, good push. Oh, that thing is gone. And 3,500 on that trade live. 3,500. I didn't mention it, but nice scalps. Skilled out a good chunk. Mostly, actually. All right, anyway. But you guys see that happen live. Saw that we grab liquidity over this breakout level, right? I saw we grab liquidity over this breakout level, except the candle held green. The candle didn't completely dump. So that means they didn't grab enough liquidity. All right? They didn't grab enough. So we're going to take one more pop. We're probably going to get one more pop to grab more liquidity and then send it down. That makes sense? So that's exactly what happened here on KWE. And now that we grab liquidity, maybe we can keep squeezing, right? We want to see it make previous high into support. So let's see what happens. We want to see it make previous high into support. Just for educational purposes, let's see what happens. In the meantime, I'm going to be looking at what else is running. TOP. All right, so let's take a look at TAOP. I have these lines from before, not from today. All right, these lines are from before. Let's see what we have in store for us. Where did these lines come from? Because it's rejecting pretty perfectly. So let's go to the daily chart first, actually. See where these lines came from. Well, okay. High volume level right here. Nice. So that's going to be our rejection level. Support now is going to become 98 cents because that is a high volume key level. So I'm going to remove this and bring this red line down for resistance. So 119 is resistance. And then now we have 97 cents as support. Let's go to the weekly chart. Weekly doesn't really align with the daily right there, but daily is still valid. So now let's look at the intraday chart. What do we see here? Where's the volume coming in at? So obviously a lot of selling pressure. You guys see the highest volume on the day is that selling pressure volume, which once again was from that high volume key level. So we're going to see it come down to 97 cents, right? That's where we held from. So that's going to be my plan here. I'm looking for 97-cent hold, except right now it's probably not going to tap 97. And if it wants to go, then continue to make a higher low. So we have a low, we have a higher low, right? It didn't touch the equal. It made a higher low. And once again, it's not coming down to this equal. It's making a higher low. So this tells you that we are currently in an uptrend. And we have room back up to probably like 115 area before it comes down to 97, right? So I'm watching it. I'm watching TAOP, no position right now on this one. And we'll see. But right now, obviously, KWE has the volume. So just kind of watching that for fun. And you know, that's taking the volume, so. All right, what else? So that's the plan, right? We're waiting for 97-ish on this stock. What else? That's pretty much the zone that we have here. Other than 97, one more level would be that $1 psychological hold level, which we held right here on this decently pretty high volume candle. So we'll look at $1. We should have buyers stepping into this zone, right? So we're looking at 97 cents and then $1 psychological hold dollar level. And it turns out to be that it is the level that is making higher lows. So that is good for us, okay? That is good to see. Once again, no position right now, but just watching it how it sets up in the meantime. What I would like to see it do, even if it doesn't touch 97, one more break below this low to grab liquidity, right? Which is a high volume candle, right? So we grab liquidity below that low and then start to head back up towards, 120 PTs. 115, 120. All right. Okay. Now let's look at AGRI. KWE is the only one that's running and it's not stopping. Wow. Don't be chasing though. All right, AGRI. Let's see where the volume is coming in at. So going on the 5-minute chart, 10-minute chart. Let's take a look. So 5-minute chart, we have buyers stepping in right here. By the way, I haven't charted these out before today. I'm just charting them out live with you guys. So same analysis, same thing. What I'm thinking live, right? So okay, here, what I see is that we have a high and then a low, and then we have a liquidity grab, right? Liquidity grab attempt. And the attempt was too weak. They didn't have enough shares, so it made a pop to high day again. And then it made that move down. Okay, so it held this level, failed against high day again, and now it's coming down. So what do I want to see now? Probably a break down to like 1130. I think that's necessary because they've grabbed enough liquidity to be able to reject these pops. Right? They've caught shares. So now you want to see something like this setup 1126. You want to see it soak under 1126. That's your sign to be able to make a nice trade off of this one. And then see what happens live, right? Just trade it live, see what the volume is doing, see what the action is doing. But I think that before the move up on AGRI, if there is one, it's going to need to test down to 1126. Now let's take a look at KWE, because this is actually the only one running. And obviously we like to focus on the volume. So let's take a look. Where would our next entries be? So once again, we're here in the supply zone, right? Here's a supply zone. Why? Because the consolidation is the consolidation before the massive move down. Okay? So now let's go to the larger time frame and mark these levels out. Kind of that consolidation before. This is the consolidation candle. All right, rejection before that massive move down. So what do I expect? I quite literally to break out here and grab liquidity. But I mean, it is pretty strong. But based off of a level to level perspective, you see it held the bottom of that level perfectly. Now they targeted the top. So it just depends if the stock has enough liquidity and they can generate enough liquidity to reject this, right? So if they can generate enough liquidity, then obviously it's going to come down. But if they cannot generate enough liquidity, then it's going to keep squeezing until liquidity is generated, right? Before that move down. But right now, this is probably the rejection level. So this doesn't make sense to buy it here, right? I was trading it down here on this high day break, but right here just doesn't make sense to me. Unless, right? Unless for a quick scalp, we want to see something down to 69 again for that breakout. Okay. Let's count KWE. That level is probably going to remain the same for me, just about this level. I'll be looking for close to 70 for a move to 86 or 80, yeah, right around that. But if in the scenario that KWE keeps running right now, right, it just keeps running, I would look for a pullback into 82 for that move back up. Okay, so right now I'm looking for 70s sweep below. But if it does break out without me like it is right now, then I would look for a pullback or a breakout and retest into that level. All right, so that's the plan on KWE. And just for like a proof of concept, you guys can see that it is struggling here, right? It's not even just like breaking through. We were breaking through before. We broke out, rejected, caught the dips, and it ran, right? Right now it's struggling a little bit, so they're trying to generate liquidity. Market makers are trying to generate liquidity. So we'll see how it plays out. But risk to reward perspective, trade is a no good right now. PRST. The thing about PRST that I actually like is that all right, so PRST is a multi-day runner. The penny multi-day runner. Now, that's a good thing and a bad thing. Good thing is that people have eyes on it. There's a lot of momentum. But the bad thing about that is there's a lot of overhead supply. Right, so we have a high here, rejection, rejection, rejection. So it's starting to make a little U-turn. You guys see that? We have a high, rejection, high, rejection, high, rejection. Right, we're getting higher and higher. So now I think that we start to see a little U-turn pattern. Start to head back towards like 85. Now, that's just based off like anticipation and experience and just understanding the chart, okay? Obviously, it could do anything. It could rip, but what would we look for opportunity? Now, overhead supply, I mean, you see rejection here. Sellers were obviously here. They got bought out. Sellers came in again, bought out. Sellers came in again, bought out. So sellers have built their position. Like buyers were building their position. Buyers built their position. Buyers built their position and made it pop. So now sellers are building their position on the bigger picture. Sellers build their position, build the position, build the position. And now they have enough shares and liquidity to be able to hold this stock down. Is PRST probably a good trade? Is that an A plus trade setup? Maybe not. I mean probably not. At least not for me, just based off looking at it right now. But I will keep this level off of previous highs intact, which is also some buying pressure earlier. So 1169 is that level. We'll see how it holds up. All right. Once again, there isn't that much going on that I like, so KWE is still just breaking through, taking the volume. Nothing else is running. Clear, obviously the biggest runner on the day now, and making everything else just drop. So focus on high momentum, high volume, and should be good. All right, but anyway, that was kind of the little short stream today we had. I hope you guys learned something on how I'm analyzing these stocks. I'm about to take a little break before I do head into the Discord. But in about 5 to 7 minutes, I'll be heading into the Discord to trade live. So if you guys want to come trade live with me for free and understand all of this, and have live trades for free, check out this link right here, mmlinks.co/7days, or the top link in the description. You guys check it out. Guys, come trade live with me 7 days for free. If you like it, stay. If you don't, you don't have to stay. But there's tons of education for you and just understanding liquidity and volume. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Today's Monday doesn't look too hot, just based off of KWE running, meaning only one stock is running, the rest of them not too much volume. So we'll see how it is. Probably just going to chill and have patience into open. But anyway, appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you guys learned something. Drop a like and subscribe. See you guys in the next stream. Peace.